Good day. Welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Yesterday, we continued to move forward. Literally, we talked about paying it forward as we applied in a much more in-depth way, I think both psychological and spiritual resources for how we might manage our stress better right now, especially during this time of the virus pandemic. And I'm saying this even as it appears that the 2-month quarantine that we've all been under, it's gradually beginning to lift. So here's hoping that that continues. Our homework for yesterday was to provide an opportunity, let's say it's a deeper dive into this idea of paying it forward. And I ask you to consciously offer a random act of kindness, that's what we called it, especially to somebody near and dear to you. During this time of quarantine, we've all been living in such close proximity to each other in many cases. And if you had a chance to offer a kindness to somebody, a kind gesture, that's what we asked you to do. So let me ask you, how'd it go? How'd you do? And two things I want to ask you further. What was your experience, both for yourself in terms of providing this random act of kindness? And also from your own perspective, what was your experience in terms of the effect that you saw that it had on the recipient, the one that you intended this kindness to or towards? So I want you to reflect on how it felt to you and what your perception is of how it might have felt to them. And now I want you to rinse and repeat. And I don't mean that in some way to slough off the importance of it. Really what I'm talking about is I'd like you to engage with this kind of exercise regularly and use a child's curiosity and even enthusiasm in executing these random acts of kindness. You've heard the phrase, the proof is in the pudding. Well, I think it is in the pudding, and I'm hoping that this pudding tastes pretty doggone good. So I'd like to ask you to continue to do that in the spirit of, we talked about this in terms of reversing negative contagion and replacing it with positive contagion. And this is a way of doing that by paying it forward by kindnesses. For today's homework assignment, I want to set up our very next series of conversations where we'll be doing an in-depth exploration of how it is possible, even in the most unforeseen circumstances, situations like what we're going through right now that in so many ways represent hardship, how it is even amidst them that we can actually have opportunities for meaningful growth. That is, if we have eyes to see. So for today's assignment, I want you to review your experience these past several weeks, months, during the current quarantine. And I want you to see if you can name for yourself one valuable side effect that you may have experienced, even amidst the limitations that have undoubtedly been the case for all of us. I'm in no way meaning to ignore the profound hardship this has been, and even tragedy to you or those you love. Anything that you've undergone, I take very seriously. But what we're trying to do is, in addition to holding a space for grief and for recognizing compassionately the incredible hardship this has been for so many of us, what I'm asking you to do is to see if you can also at the same time observe, it's almost like a three-dimensional depth, if you can observe any possible value that you may have gained, even amidst obvious pain, limitation, and suffering. Come back tomorrow after having done this exercise, and we'll proceed to explore this theme more fully. We'll unpack this together, okay? Thanks for joining me today. Stay safe, be well. Keep coming back to the Vitality Project. I'll see you tomorrow.